Hey everybody, Don here again. Welcome back to the fly tying station. So today I'm going to try to tie up a crawdad jig. I think this will be really good for smallmouth. I did this one the other day, and it's basically, besides the thread and the Ned jig itself, it's got three materials. It's got this little antennae, which is just a silicone skirt for like a jig or a spinnerbait. It's got these rabbit zonkers, which are small, thin pieces of rabbit hide with the fur attached. Those would imitate the pinchers. And then the body is just a simple variegated chenille. Now, this is really rudimentary, nothing fancy, basically four components outside of the thread. Today, I'm going to do another one with a little bit different body material and see how that looks. Hang out. All right, so what I'm starting off with today is basically just a simple Ned jig head. This is, it had a little keeper on it. I squished that down. This is kind of a green pumpkin with a little bit of red flake in it. So it's that in the vise and lock it down. Looks pretty secure. Then, instead of using the Sally Hansen's on this, because it has that keeper that I want to build up a little bit, I'm going to use a little of this thick UV glue. Just build that up just a little bit. Get rid of that little sharp edge by building some glue up around it. Alright. Today I'm just using this olive thread. This is an Ultra 210. I'm just going to lay down a few wraps of thread for the base. Going back to the eye of the hook. And then I want to go all the way past this keeper. Alright. You have to change glasses. I'm not really seeing that as good as I want. There we go. Put on my 2.5 readers. Alright, we'll let that hang, and we'll pull out the next material. So I've got this silicone skirting legs. I just want to pull two of those off. So this is going to be the tail end of the crawdad, so the hook end will be up near the head. So what I'm going to do is separate these pieces of silicone legging, and then I just want to lay them right about there. Let them hang. I don't really care how much they hang over. Let me just make a few wraps to hold that in place. And then we'll cut those off. And voila. Now I want one of those to be on each side. That doesn't really matter that much at this point because there's going to be a lot of stuff wrapping around. Alright, whoops. Well, how well is that showing up? Does that show it better? You know, it might show up better against the black background. So you can see I've got these two rabbit zonkers. These will imitate the pinchers. I cut them about the same length. I cut the hair off of part of it. That's going to wrap around the shank. So we're going to attach these rabbit zonkers one at a time. That's going to be just about right. Make sure one on both sides. And just a couple of really good wraps to, ouch, get that on there. Poked myself. All right. There's one on the far side. One on the near side. Alright, so those things are hanging down kind of out of the way, as are my antennae. I might have made those a little long, but we'll see. And last, but certainly not least, is going to be this heavy chenille. I'm going to put a little bit of it right there. A couple, 3 or 4 good wraps to hold it. And then we're going to wrap that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold that out of the way. 1, 2, 3. Get a couple tight wraps up near the head. And then we'll cut that off and finish it. That looks kind of cool. Now we'll try to tie a whip finish knot. Go around that. Whoops. Alright, so we have a reverse figure 4. We'll go around once, twice, 3, 4, then come off of that loop. Come off of that loop. There we go. Come off that loop. Alright. Well, wasn't smooth as silk, but I got the job done. Now I'm going to use some head glue at the top of that just to make sure, and I'm going to do that out of the vise. There we go. And hit it with the UV light. Well, there you have it. This is Crawdad pattern number 1. Very simple. And this is Crawdad pattern number 2. Also very simple. I made it a little bit longer, so these claws are a little bit longer. But they're essentially the same other than the chenille in the body. Now, I look at a Ned rig with a TRD on it, and I always wonder, why would a fish eat that? But they do. So I got to believe that these things will catch smallmouth as well. And I'm going to send these to my buddy Fitzy over in New York. Him and I were supposed to be on a kayak camping adventure last weekend, but obviously that was put off by my Achilles. But he lives at a spot where he has got some excellent smallmouth waters with flat rock bottom, and he catches a lot of smallmouth on the Ned rig. So we're going to see if he can catch them on these. Well, what do you think? Can Fitzy catch some smallmouth on those or what? I bet he does. Thanks for coming along. We'll see you next time. Peace.